and I've gotten probably over 150 personal messages in the past 2 days regarding the swine flu outbreaks, and it would be more convenient and probably practical for me to make a video or two regarding this, and hopefully it will help all of us involved. And today we have Abby on the panel, and Otis is acting an idiot, and he's under the desk, but Abby just feels regal in lieu of the circumstances today. She's actually thinks she's in charge, but don't pay her any attention. What we want to discuss is, I'm not a physician and I'm not going to impersonate one, but I've been in critical incidents and major critical incidents, and some involve the potential for this to be dispersed wrongfully as a weapon of mass destruction, and I had to depend upon a support staff of real-time intel, including entities that were more versed and trained with expertise with viral agents as well. And it gets quite complicated, people just dealing with a handful of them, not global. All right, it's Sunday afternoon, almost 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I may get completed with this in one video, maybe two. And this is, by the time this gets uploaded and some of you see it, there's going to be changes and modification and updates. It's happening that fast, but so are a lot of the events that we've been discussing over the past few months. Now, I'm going to begin with this. It's impossible for me to do videos with this type of event in a couple of 10-minute tapes. It just is. This would require a major general support staff and delegated authority and fact finding, and you've got so much disbursement now beyond one continent to more than 2 or 3. It would require coordination of several units cooperating and on the same page. So I'm going to try to just downscale this. We'll get through it, and hopefully we'll all learn something from it. Now, to begin with, I'm not accepting the news media hyping or spinning this, and that includes private citizens hyping the viral outbreaks. If people are hyping it and spinning it and blowing it out of proportion or even undermining it, oh, it's not that big of a deal. No, it is a serious problem, but it's not where it can evolve to at this point. Most people or news media or even the government or private citizens that blow something out of proportion have their own inappropriate agenda, usually manipulation and otherwise. If you'll notice, in the past few weeks, and even probably a significant part of this year, the media has been using propaganda preparatory campaign of viral releases. And it wasn't but 2 or 3 weeks ago, even the internet was spinning quite intensely about bird flu, avian flu. And I try to stay middle grounds with this because I've had to make decisions, as I've said in other videos, that impacted thousands of personnel and civilians. If you made a mistake out of bad judgment or bad intel, or you had a incompetent staff, which we weren't. At the same time, I have to rely on a lot of the sources you do, and some of my detached intel out of DC, I have to be careful with. It can trace back to individuals of responsibility. Regarding this, the Center for Disease Control, CDC, stated today, being Sunday, April 24th, or wait, let's go back to April 24th, which would be Friday, that it's too late to contain the virus. And I don't know if that's factual or not. I don't trust them. I've seen their capabilities, and they're also working with Homeland Security. That is alarming, knowing that the CDC and the DHS is now ready for a response. Now, I am suspicious of this viral agent as a staged incident. I have said before, and you can go back and watch my videos where I've stated, there is confirmation of real-time intel from reliable sources that are trained to monitor the upper end tier of intel. of radiation being micro baby nukes in the pod of the United States, as well as bioweapons, viral, man-made agents. Probably what you're seeing now dispersed. I don't like to say that I told you so, because I'm not. I'm speaking as a reference. It was just a matter of time before you would see release of this. And I'll speak more about this as I go on. I'm trying to follow an outline. I've tried to put something together to follow an organizational pattern. This is quite in depth what we're facing, not just us, but in other nations. As of this time, probably an hour ago, Mexico, the USA, Canada, New Zealand, Italy, and Spain and Israel are reporting cases. And most likely, by the time you see this, or tomorrow morning being Monday on, I'm referring to the calendar, the 27th of April, and probably the 28th, more countries will report of individual cases or outbreaks. Okay? Now, this is still very close to the initial pre-incident period closing and the critical incidents occurring. And you've heard me talk before. Let me set this down. I kept using an example. The pre-incident closes. At some point, it bursts, and it happens. We're still close to the time frame of the recent pre-incident period closing and the critical incidents occurring, and how it's expanded from Mexico to the USA and into Canada and overseas. So we're still behind the learning curve of knowledge, and we still have to sort through, hear, see, and sort. Hear, see, and sort through the information, and try to avoid being trapped in manipulation and deception. Now let's put this page aside. Now I can keep going. All right, today Homeland Security Janet Napolitanto, who I don't care much for, has declared a state of public health emergencies preparedness for USA. It's referred to as standard operating procedures, and you can conclude the feds have a standby call enacting executive orders should Obama be told by the elite to seize this opportunity. I can't count the messages asking, can this lead to martial law? It can. It's very generalized. Bush Jr. built on Clinton's executive orders that laid a house of a foundation for the next president. Whether you like Obama or not, he's up there regardless, and he has the authority that I still say is unconstitutional for any president to enact these executive orders that abolishes this Constitution, because that gives the elite and the wealthy and this evil empire that wants to be a socialist form of government to rid us of the Constitution form of government by elected representatives. You have staged incidents that gives them the crisis and chaos to invoke executive orders. So my answer to that question by several of you is yes, it can. Now, let's go back into the CDC and DHS working together. You have to remember the Department of Homeland Security / FEMA is mostly structured toward enforcement. Look how they have ineptly and incompetently responded to natural disasters over the years. Just look back to Katrina, but look how well they came in on the enforcement side. Most of the money and training has gone to what I would refer to as black ops. Not speaking racial, that is a term. It's in the Department of Defense and CIA. It's a term, and you're not referring to race or pigmentation of the skin. Black ops, DOD, FEMA and DHS has a black ops. Since '84 under Reagan, when it was constructed, it was about controlling you under martial law. That's what it was about. The facade has been of public assistance. They have done a pathetic and feeble account of responding to natural disasters. Even Abby thinks so. She just roared about it. I'm going to cut this first video and we're going to go into the next one.